you guys, since you like the stats, now tied for the NHL lead in goals in the third period. The way that you guys came out tonight, how important was that in securing this?
Well, I thought, yesterday we were square going into the third. Wasn't a Picasso, but we got the job done, and we had to battle, and the goalie had to be really good. So today we had to get the same thing done. It was a different script. I thought we played really well in the third. Still needed the goalie, but our guys had some nice plays, nice goals. It makes it a little easier when you can score some nice goals.
We talk about the system there, and there's a lot of talk about changing from the 1-3-1, all of that. It was too defensive, whatever it is. You guys remain one of the best defensive teams in hockey, not the best team. How important is that identity then for you guys to be so strong defensively?
Yeah, that was the biggest consideration in changing the system, and I think as we talked about it, we felt like the players here, because they've won, they know they're responsible players, understand that defense wins, checking wins. So there was enough of a foundation that we could probably change the system and still have that proper mindset, and those guys have done that. So that's probably, as a coaching staff, what we're probably most pleased with is the guys haven't wavered from that mindset, despite playing a different system.
Talk about the nice goals. Is that an example of what Kevin can do when he's on? Obviously his goal, but also the poise on the power play goal.
It's great to see, wasn't it? Power play hasn't gone that well yet this year. We've had a lot of chances we haven't scored on, but nice to see that. And we've seen, a lot of that since Kevin showed up, Kevin to juice or Kevin pulling inside himself. So, yeah, nice to see. I thought Kevin was, good last night, and I thought tonight he built on that. I thought he was the most dangerous player on the ice.
With 6 out of 7 games, 2 goals or less, it's just a matter of it takes 20 to 25 games for your team to settle in to that new system and the new line rotation.
We've given up 2 goals or less, is that what you're saying?
6 out of 7. The only game
Was the San Jose game. Always at the start of the season, the league is just more loose until all teams get a little bit tighter. And the other thing on that is the referees seem to call a lot more power plays and early in the season. So that could skew that. I don't know what it's been like 5-on-5. We had, the night in Ottawa wasn't good. We had a couple of nights that weren't good. So I don't know if it's as much as the system so well. We played pretty well through the exhibition season, pretty tight. So we felt like coming out of the exhibition, we kind of had our system in place. But I definitely think we're playing better now than at the start of the year. There's no question.
Sorry, Trevor Lewis going down, game 999. You don't like to see that. Is there any update you can share with us or anything that you saw happen that you can tell us about?
Yeah, I don't want to update. He looks like he's going to be out for a while. We don't know exactly yet, so I'm not going to speculate. But yeah, I can tell you he won't be playing the next game. That's as much as I know. That's a for sure.
When Louis goes down, obviously bringing you 2 11 forwards. Does it maybe help that the guys have moved around so much this year and there's so much familiarity that you can throw 3 guys out there and they probably play together at some point?
I think so. I mean, I played a lot of 11 forwards last year. I'm really comfortable with that. It's almost a preference at times, to be honest with you. And sometimes players like Sammy was playing really well tonight. He had a real good game, dangerous, almost scored his first goal. So maybe not fair that he doesn't play that much at the end. I went from 11 to 10, and just this group of guys we're really comfortable with. So somebody has to pay a price sometimes, but that's not a problem. I think everybody played with everybody. If you're a good player, you can play with somebody else. I don't think the chemistry doesn't seem to be a huge issue. And to make that point, you saw like Phil, Laugh, and Kevin, who haven't spent a lot of time together. And last night and tonight, I thought they were a more dangerous line. You take the 2 nights in total, hadn't played together, but good players playing hard. They'll complement each other.
Do you like the 11 forward alignment to disrupt matchups, or why is it your preference?
All players want to play more. If you asked every forward, they want to play more. So what happens is everybody gets a little bit more. I shouldn't say everybody. Some players get this most nights consistently, and some of the other guys get a little bit more when we play with 11 forwards. And yeah, I know they want to be out there. So that's really what it comes down to. Is just get a little bit more ice time.
And on power play tonight, back with Clarkie on the line?
Yeah. And I thought they were dangerous the first time round, but it was, we needed that goal at that time. So, and I think as much as Clarkie back on the goal line, it, puts Kevin and Juice back in their spots a little bit too. Didn't mind the 5 forwards and had a little bit of success over the last 3 or 4 games, but, that felt better tonight against that penalty kill too. Sometimes it's penalty kill dependent.
The 3-game streak. I mean, a resounding win and then 2 really strong third periods. Do you feel like even beyond just the 3 straight, is this team starting to find its confidence at this stage in the campaign?
I would say that's fair. I would say, the San Jose game did not feel good at all, that third period. And so you wonder how you're going to react. And then you play hard, and you hope you play hard and win. And you do that, and you go win the next one, and you play hard and win. Then you start to say, okay, yeah, the confidence does build. Why wouldn't it? Because when you play hard, you get results, and you realize that, hey, you know what? We're a good team, and we're hard to beat. We don't give much up. And when you don't give much up when you play hard, you got a chance every night.
Wasn't out for all that long, but good to have Morsey's legs back. Where he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, really, really important. I mean, great goal, great move on Kopi's goal. That's a big goal, probably the biggest goal of the night. So, yeah, nice to have him back out there for sure. And I like that line. I like, kind of we got some different lines going on that played pretty well together.
Going back to the Lewis injury, obviously not something you want to see, but is this a situation where you look at that as, that's the negative, but the positive is someone now has an opportunity to maybe come in and establish themselves in this lineup and kind of take that opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, the problem with that is Louis is just does so much for our team, and he's a really hard guy to replace. So you talk about the minutes, yes, but just he's, I call him the wild thing. He comes out of relief a lot of times, and ends up playing most minutes when we're trying to hold a lead late. So he's just really, really dependable. The stuff he does in the room, practice every day. So it's a big loss if he's not around and playing every night, beyond just somebody replacing his minutes.